Nonprofits across the state line celebrate 20 years of the Northern Illinois Center for Nonprofit Excellence. And as they celebrate this milestone, some organizations say they feel the pressure from several sides. WIFR reporter Miriam Niesmeyer talks with nonprofit leaders who say donations and volunteers are crucial to their missions and how they say they've seen that support change.
The volunteer pool is not as large as it used to be.
Donations and volunteers are the backbone of nonprofits, but some leaders say both are becoming harder to secure.
Since COVID, we're not seeing the same number of volunteers that are stepping in to volunteer for organizations.
Census data shows roughly 75 million Americans helped organizations last year. That number is still down from 5 years ago.
When people have passion for something and they see a need, they come out and they support. Our community is so incredibly generous.
Nationally, charitable giving reached nearly $593 billion last year, according to Giving USA.
You know what we've seen over the last few years is that donations have been impacted with generational changes and wealth transfer, but also the pandemic affected how people are giving.
But experts say fewer everyday Americans are giving.
I think people are cautious, right? With the economy, with inflation, people are careful, even more careful with their funds than they used to be.
Momberger says about 70% of family counseling services clients have Medicaid for their insurance.
If the Medicaid cuts really do go through, it could be really scary for them. We will try to provide the services regardless.
Organizers say they're developing plans to connect more with donors. In Rockford, Miriam Niesmeyer, WIFR News.
Nonprofit leaders say even small donations or limited volunteer hours make a difference.